Church with a 2-drink
Everybody ready? We're gonna sing. Hey, Glen. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the church with 2-drink minimum. Welcome to the church with 2-drink minimum. We are interfaith, interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the church with a 2-drink minimum. One more time now. Welcome to the church with a 2-drink minimum. Everybody, come on, give it a human.
There we have it. We doggies. Everybody is in the house as we all arrive. Don't forget to meet everybody. We're all cousins here, right?
We're all family.
I know we're all family. Did you do that in your church? You had to reach across the aisle and say good morning to your neighbor and stuff like that. Did you guys do that? Because you had to say hello to somebody, or you had to greet somebody, greet a stranger.
Yeah,
right?
I always love that. I always love that.
That's funny because we used to every single one of our performers we used to, in the East Village we'd say,
Turn to your neighbor and say, howdy, cousin. So glad to see you.
Howdy, because we're all related, right? We all
are.
family. So
Family.
I got all my cousins with me. So this is I just reminded that the time when we all come together, and then the first thing the preacher says is you have the prayer, and they say, now greet your neighbor, and the whole thing, everybody gets really loud again, right?
Oh, it was fun, and we do that here in the sanctuary on Sunday mornings.
We do that in the mornings
because I love to know where people are. And
I know we got South Africa and all kinds of stuff like that, right?
It's amazing who is a part of this community.
It really is
so great. So we want to welcome Arizona, Tika, and Connie to the room today, and all y'all that are listening on the radio. Join us if you can, and everybody that's on YouTube after we post it, greetings and love and welcome, and
whatever
hugs.
time you're viewing this. I hope it's this reaches you right in the 2-drink spirit in which it is accomplished. I hope we want to make sure that you have a chance at least sometime during the week to say, God, I'm so grateful I am me. I'm so grateful I get to do this, that I get to have experience, that I have awareness. Who's grateful to have awareness?
Oh, for sure.
Because what are what's the alternative? Like not awareness, like that's I don't
Sign is like, oh
no, I know. So the oneness or nothing, right?
Here we are.
Oneness or nothing. I'm going to choose you. I'm going to choose oneness.
Oh no, me too. Well, this has been such a fun day in the sanctuary. Of
course we're there all day.
Of course, and we're listening.
Our Sunday,
even though we're not on visuals.
I know we do clean up nice, though, wouldn't you say? Colors today are black and red
and white
and accent.
And I decided to be frilly and fluffy.
I know she's got the.
I'm feeling frilly and fluffy today.
She's fluffy McRuffleface today.
Well, and so one thing I wanted to talk about before we really get started is, just how comfortable I feel, here.
Ruffles and love.
Ruffles and love. Exactly. I mean, and the message, it seemed like the message of the day really was, you can't get it wrong.
Yeah. And it's okay really not to know everything.
And it's okay not to know everything.
Not to be a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Who thought safety was being a know-it-all? I did. I thought if I knew everything and if I had everything under control, right, that I would finally be like safe.
Yeah, and I thought if I'd be special enough, I'd be safe.
Yeah, we know how well that worked out.
Cheers to let
Cheers.
it go.
I know. Cheers to letting go what doesn't work. How about that, right?
Yeah,
I know.
right.
Love you.
Cheers.
Right here, right here with you.
Mm. Well, it's just such
And
a
that's
fun.
that's a daily process, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah. If you let go, if
Mhm.
you let go of it when you see it,
Mm.
it comes easier to let go of the next time it
Mm.
happens. Because I don't know about you, but I often don't just let things go just once. You ever just like, oh, done that, seen that, have the t-shirt and you're done with that problem. But maybe you're one of these people who just like tackles a problem and you never have to deal with it again. That hasn't been really my experience on this spiral that we are in spiral development.
Look at
We're
Tika.
all learning and growing and coming back around to the same ideas again and again and again, especially the ones that we learned when we were little.
Oh yeah,
and the healing
conditioning.
that comes
Yeah.
from being able to be present with how that affects us in
Mm.
our lives today.
Mm.
Right? We're going to talk a little bit about that in the form of what does the Course in Miracles say about problem people?
Maybe I'm the problem.
Maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. What do you think? What do you? Let's
Could
stick
be.
around. Stay tuned after the song and the meditation. Where I'm going to talk to you about
Love them.
the
Sinuses love
love.
them. What
Well,
do you
that's
do with problem
a
people?
call for love.
Yes.
Okay, who's been
Yes.
reading ahead?
Mm-hmm.
Who has been reading ahead? Way to go. Call for love. We're going to talk about how to deal with our own problem thoughts and the difficult and the abrasive people in our lives. How about that?
Who could be me?
Who also could be me.
It's possible.
I know. Yeah, we have abrasive relationship. You can
really.
You can tell.
Not at all. Actually.
I know. See, just something you just come off.
We do very well. I mean, because we're both so committed to being aware and
intense goals.
Yeah, having the same goals and all of that stuff. But every now and then we pop up with some friction, that we have to deal with. And
always a misunderstanding.
It's always that, and it always helps to bring attention to what's really going on. Like again, like most of the time, it comes from my idea of, for me, of specialness that I deserve or ought to be treated a certain way.
I know we did that exercise this afternoon, didn't we?
That was so good.
This shouldn't be the list of things that should not be. Did you play that? Have you ever played that game? This should not be happening.
That was so good, and I just want to thank you if you're listening. I was like, wow, that was good, and I can't wait for this satsang tonight. It's going to be amazing.
Yep, looking forward to that
with the poet. So. All right, let's do a sing along.
It's backed by popular demand. Had requests for this.
Well, I'm just having so much fun today that, like, let's just spread a little joy and spread a little happiness and have a little fun. So come back with me to the 1970s.
Picture it. 1973.
The Partridge
Family.
2, 3, 4. Hello world, there's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. We had a dream, we go traveling together. Spend a little loving and we keep moving on. Something always happens whenever we're together. We get a happy feeling and we're singing along. Traveling along this song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy.
Sing along. I hope you sang along. Hope you got to dance around a little bit.
Always makes me happy.
Always makes me happy. Having along, there's a song we are singing, and it's come on, get happy.
I love it.
Happiness is ours. It's an observation of reality.
It is. So one thing that you tend to say a lot is our natural default is happiness.
Joy.
Joy.
Joy is our default setting.
Joy is our default setting. And it was so interesting because we were having a discussion this week with someone who really does not believe that, believes that we're born in sin and that we're sinful and all that stuff. And it
broken
was
world
so hard for her to hear that she is innocent, and
yeah,
wow,
would not accept
what a
would not do it, would not
it's
accept innocence for herself, not do it.
It was so great though to really see that dawn on our friend as something that might possibly be true,
Yeah,
to
could
open
be.
up a little bit of willingness there. And so I was also talking to somebody else that came over to interview me for a project she's doing, but that was news to her too. The way
Really?
yeah, the way she was brought up was that you're sinful and bad and all of that, so it
Got to be
was
fixed.
yeah,
You're
got to be
born
fixed.
broken and got to be fixed.
Right. And so I was able to share the same message. And it was another like aha moment for this person that I was sharing with. And it's wow, what a lovely thing to be able to have that little tiny bit of willingness to crack open, just a little space and then see how that grows. Oh, I'm innocent. I can't get it wrong.
And I had other people hold that space before I could occupy it.
Yeah. Me too.
I walked into that space that was being held by other people before I could really contribute.
Yeah.
And holding that space and holding that meme and holding that attitude or perspective even.
And to be able to practice it.
Yeah.
To really practice that.
And then for that to become more of your identity and where you operate from.
Yeah.
That transition, that moving from once I was afraid and I was petrified. I kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. And I spent so many times just thinking how you did me. No,
we're singing to the ego right now. That's funny. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along.
So funny. So you can take perspective is everything, right? Perspective is everything.
Well, let's look at the workbook lessons.
Speaking of perspective,
I know that we've been doing this week. Right. So
I know,
inspiration. We're going to go back a few days. And we're going to start with lesson 286, which is one of my favorite lessons.
And this lesson too. I know you know this lesson. One of your favorite lessons.
It's so lovely that I wrote a song about it, which we're going to play here in a little bit. So lesson 286 goes, the hush of heaven holds my heart today.
You love those alliterations, don't you?
Oh, I really do. I love it.
I love the alliterations.
The hush of heaven holds my heart today. I love this. I'm not going to read it because I'm going to play the song, which is actually word for word what this lesson says. So that was a few days back.
Yeah. So this is where she's going with this. So listen to the progression. Yeah. See if you can see where she's going. The hush of heaven holds my heart today.
Then it is one,
you're my goal,
my Father.
Only you. 2 sentences. You are my goal, my Father. Only you.
And she says, where would I go but heaven? What could be a substitute for happiness?
Well,
hello world, there's a song that we're singing. And what gift could I prefer before the peace of God?
And the peace of God is reality, right? We get that. It's not like nothing's happening here. It's all things happening here.
This whole paragraph is great. What treasure would I seek and find and keep that can compare with my identity? Which is awesome. Like our true identity. I have a song about that later on.
Got it all happening already.
And would I rather live with fear than love? No, thank you.
Well, I sometimes think fear is a lot more exciting. More stimulating.
That's the trick of it.
It is.
And then the next lesson. Oh my God, this was a good one.
Let me
forget my brother's past today.
I know you're going to want to say, let me not forget my brother's past today. I know that's where we kind of want to go with this. And I will never forget what you do. That's not the lesson. 288 is I'm never going to forgive you. That's not the lesson.
No.
It's really like more like simple and profound than that is, please let me forget my brother's past. What my brothers,
But look how
And
important.
that's the way I want to live. That's why I want to be encountered as you encountered me here today now.
Yeah.
Not when I was. Have ever known somebody who still treats you like you were 11?
Oh,
You know anybody who still treats you like you're a child? You know, even
yeah.
though you're like a grown, and you have to keep saying, "I'm grown."
But what I
This is
think
kind
is
of
the
what she's
most
talking about.
wonderful and important thing about this lesson is how it emphasizes community, each other.
My brother is
Yeah,
the hand that leads me the way to
to
you.
you, right.
It's a community project. It's an us thing.
His sins are in the past along with mine, and I am saved because the past is gone.
I'm saved because
And
the
listen, she
past
goes
is
even
gone.
further. She says, "My brother is my savior.
Mhm.
Let me not attack the savior you have given me, but let me honor
Right.
him who bears your name, and so remember that it
It's
is my
just an
own."
opportunity to see the oneness around you, to see that problem person as like, also you, right?
A reflection.
Yeah.
So
289.
then,
289 then becomes,
ooh,
and she says, let the past, no, the past
is
is over,
over.
period. It can
Touch me
touch
not.
me not. So it's
Mm.
like, she just like, so what are we talking about? The past and sins and remembering and trying to keep inventing this thing to be upset about. You have to
Mm.
keep inventing it.
She
So
says, "Father, let me look not upon a
a past
past
that
that
is
is
not
not
there.
there."
Oh, I know. Oh, I know, because we have to keep creating it. So 290 is
My
my present
present
happiness.
happiness is all I see.
Oh, oh, where's my
Ah,
happiness?
right here
Present. My present happiness is
in the
all I
present.
see. That's literally the truth of it. You cannot see into the future. You cannot see into
Mm,
the past. You cannot
mm.
be anywhere but here. You could like take your mind out of it, your attention out of it, but you can't be anywhere but where God is.
With this resolve, I come to you and ask your strength to hold me up today while I but seek to do your will
I seek no more
today.
today.
Yeah. Love has
Has
prevailed.
prevailed.
You cannot fail to hear me, Father. What I ask have you already given me, and I am sure that I will see my happiness today.
I am as God created me. Okay.
Mm.
Here we are.
And so, now, and then
Okay.
the next
What we're
thing
going
we're going
into, and there's
into,
no accident. So we're going into like next week, we're going to be talking about what is the real world. We're not going to get into it was like teaser. We're getting like the end of the end of the school year or the end of the year with the Course in Miracles. It just gets really, really, really lovely.
Yeah. So today's lesson actually is lesson 289. The past is over. It can touch me not. And then we're looking forward to tomorrow. My present happiness is all I see. That's tomorrow's lesson. So we're going to end
my
right
present
there.
happiness is all I see.
Yeah.
My
It's
past
so gorgeous.
is over.
But so
Those
we're gonna ding the dings and breathe the breathes and om the ohms and enjoy.
get present and
Yeah, and enjoy. And then
glad you're here.
we're gonna play Hush of Heaven. So here we go. Ah, it is with great, great joy that today we co-create right here in the Awakening Together Sanctuary, this circle of unconditional love that includes everything we like and everything we do not like. We welcome it all in, just like the Rumi poem says. Welcome it in. We're like a guest house. We welcome it all in so that we may learn from it all. And today, we know that the hush of heaven, this very present moment, the beautiful stillness and joy of this very moment holds my heart today. And so let's just take a moment of absolute quiet just to reflect on that for a few moments. And we know that in the stillness, there is hope. It lights the way as we travel far to our certain goal of oneness with love. Blessed be, and so it is. Of heaven holds my heart today. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Oh Lord, how still, how quietly do all things fall into place. This is the day I understand I am free. I am free. There is no need for me to do anything. Peace is here, my heart and mind at rest. Your love is heaven, and your love is mine today. In the stillness, there is hope. It lights the way as I travel far to my certain goal of oneness with love. Oneness with love. There is no doubt what my heart has promised me. Promised me. The hush of heaven holds my The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Oh, thank you. Thanks, everybody. And I see that Reverend Glen has joined us.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Just in time to hear me talk about chapter 11.
Not so much the
itself, hold on a second. We got something going on here. There we go. Okay. Back to
the lesson.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Jacqueline had a message.
Jacqueline, I know.
Love that.
Love
the
baritone harmony with you, and that's
thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
That was we had so much fun with that. We had a group of we were at a retreat and we had a group of folks sing with me on that recording. Yeah, it was cool.
I can't sing that low though. I tried to sing the bass parts on that, and I'm like,
he was trying.
I can't sing that. It's really fun to try though. It's really, really fun to try. But I don't know. It just gives you that like interior white church feel, and just that small, little country church feel to it. And I remember all those people that are doing it, and they're all several of them were ministers as well. Yeah. So if you're following along doing the lessons like I know that you're doing the lessons, and
you mean the tags,
because you're doing the tags, because we've done the lessons, and now if you do the lessons, then you figure out that the text is actually corresponding with roughly with the lessons that we talked about earlier today. And you'd find yourself on chapter 25. Now there are only 31 chapters in A Course in Miracles.
Wow.
So
we're almost.
No, we're coming up on the final 100 days of the year. Are you prepared to be transcended? Have you're getting your luggage together and everything like that? Right, you are, because we're in the final 100 days. We lift off New Year's. We lift off. We're not coming back. That's true. We're going to be passing out the Kool-Aid, and
I don't think so. Sometimes you
go
a little much. Just a little too much.
Okay, so go right up to the edge and tinker with it. No, because I'm being overly like silly because of what the lesson is today. It's about the justice. The chapter is called, chapter 25 is called the lesson of. It's called the justice of God. Right, so I joke like that. And this is called the state of sinlessness. You know. So the who did right and who did wrong, and transgression and keeping score is a lot of what she's going to allude to during this lesson. So I don't know about you. There's this thing we did when we were little kids. Can you scroll up?
Yeah.
Scroll.
Oh, up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this thing we did when we were little kids, when somebody like goes, "Oh, you're a duty head," or you're a meanie, or whatever it was, and then you say, "No, you are," and then the other one would say, "I know you are. But what am I?" And then you would say, "Because you were smart." And you would say, "I am rubber and you're glue. And whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. And therefore, like, you just like totally won the argument. There's no more coming after you whatsoever." Right? You're familiar. You're familiar with this tactic, and it works every time, right? It is absolutely foolproof. I am rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks on you. It is absolutely foolproof. We know that as children because we all tested it out, right? We can say that from experience. So,
and it sort of speaks to projection in a way.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about projection, which is a lot of where sinlessness and our resistance to calling ourselves sin without sin, or seeing somebody else who obviously is not behaving properly, as sinless, much, or could be us, like we're not doing it right. We talked about that earlier today. What this shouldn't be. you know.
Right. Oh God, that was so great. That exercise was
we're still talking about
terrific. Yeah.
So this is the state of sinlessness. Section 4 is chapter 25, the justice of God. So the justice of God is a chapter on how you deal with your own problem thoughts and problem people, irascible, gritty world reality of us, our beliefs and stuff rubbing up against other people's, and the friction we have in an illusory up and down material world. Their physical encounter with our own beliefs and the beliefs of others. They scratch against each other a little bit. And what do we do? And how do we work with that reality of what we experience? So this is what she says, and there are only 6 paragraphs, and it's really super fun. She says this.
Hold on a second. I want
to make sure the chat isn't full of questions.
Right. Oh, yes.
There you go.
So, and also, make sure make sure you pop in if you have a question, or Glenn says something weird and you're like, what?
It might happen.
Because sometimes I'm like,
I know, feel free to interrupt and say, oh, would you please elaborate, Mr. Ganaway? Excuse me, Reverend, would you back up and say that again? I'd be more than happy to. This chapter is the justice of God. And so listen to how she wants, and this is chapter 4, and this is the only time she's going to really talk about problem people or this kind of thing. So in relationships. So this is the only time we're going to talk about this.
It's actually chapter 25, section 6, the
state of sinlessness.
And it starts like this. The state of sinlessness is merely this.
Okay, put on, get your pencils out.
The whole desire to attack is gone.
Oh, shoot. Shoot, I'm already sunk.
Attack and sin are bound as one illusion, each the cause and aim and justifier of the other. For each attests the other must be true.
Okay, so that's very almost literally the definition of a paradigm.
Oh,
right.
Interesting.
Inside of a paradigm, in which the reality is it's broken, awful. It is whatever we're looking at. This is the request here. Is that I'm sure you can see is to recognize our holiness. We did that last week, and about how to work with others, about what group cohesion, what group dynamics are about. So it's about recognizing our holiness in other people. And what does she say the first thing you have to do if you want to be in a relationship with me or anybody else or anything in the world?
Like a real
If you want to be in a relationship, what's the first thing she says you have to do or see reality?
Let go of judgment.
You have to let go of the judgment. Like we were talking about, I don't know what anything is for. Our biggest problem is if we go, I know exactly what that's for all the time. So it brings this realization that wanting the world to be different is attack, means we're seeing sin and brokenness in the world because we found it, we have a belief in it in ourselves. Chapter 25, we should be to this place. And we go, oh, wow, I see this dynamic working. Now is the realization we'll go, the purpose of guilt and attack. Oh, I have this thing. So what do? You ask yourself, what's it for? What is this guilt coming up for? What is this trying to happen? The purpose of guilt and attack is to bring it up to your awareness, because this is disturbing your peace. You could do better. This is where we become less effective. Recognition of the paradigm. Like I said at the very beginning, this is just the recognition. Step 1, really step 0, the recognition that now we're looking at a broken world. Now we're looking at specialists. If I can't have what I want, that's whole what she's talking about here. Attack and sin are bound to one another as one illusion. You're doing wrong, and now I have to attack you, and you have to attack back, or I have to prove it. We go on trial, and we have to means test the punishment. I mean, this is the paradigm of a broken world.
Right.
And then if you could get there, you can get to the places. I could see my holiness. I could let go of my judgment. Could I? So that she moves on. She's moving us in the way we're thinking, moving our mind into another way of looking at the world, in which we can see past the paradigm of which the world is actually trying to live and reinforce, of a broken world. So go ahead.
So in the second paragraph, she says, attack makes Christ your enemy and God along with him.
Mm-hmm.
For you have hurt yourself and made of yourself your enemy.
Yeah.
Who would attack whatever he perceives as wholly innocent?
Well, there's an answer.
Christ stands before you each time you look upon your brother. He has not gone because your eyes are closed.
Okay. We could see each
That's
other
good.
with reality. We could see our essential nature, even our flaws and things that we're proud of in others and in the world. Okay. This is why we want to fix other people. And this is why we attack other people for not accepting our fix or not wanting to be fixed. There's the fear we have here. She's pointing directly at. And this fear of others and controlling others are actually hurting ourselves. We're actually hurting our own we're actually afraid of ourselves. We're afraid of our own minds. We're afraid of our own healing. We're afraid of the light, all those things. And this origin of fear is, I'm not an us, I'm an other. Or we're not together. There's no joining. There's only me. It's you and me against the world.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's Hobbesian. So, and here's what one of the major things I'd like you to take away, and I'm going to say it fairly directly. We attack where we think we can make effective change.
What do you mean by that?
We attack where we think we can make effective change. Attack a system, attack a person, attack food, attack objects. Because we believe that destroying, manipulating, changing the nature and form of something actually changes the meaning of it. And so we attack to change the form of something. Because we believe that the changing the form of that thing, giving you a black eye, will correct whatever is I don't want to feel.
Oh, that's a good point.
We attack where we think we can make an effective change. Like you go to where the problem, we go to where we think the problem is. It's always wrong, which is why I want to really underline this thing. Says, look at where we first go to as a correction to the problem, because that is going to be very revealing about where we think we can effectively look for a solution. And our ego, in its ignorance, is going to try to change this physical thing in the world.
Right.
And so you can see the request. You can see where she's going with this. You can see where the world, the perspective that she wants you to have by saying all of that. Oh, the request is to love others as they are. That can be kind of difficult when it's a difficult person. It can be kind of difficult when we're not liking who we are at the moment, or the thoughts going through my head are like, oh my God, I'm planning revenge on somebody. I must be a horrible person. Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Love yourself as you are. Love others as they are. We're learning and growing and changing. And sometimes, right, we get it wrong. We learned that this morning. And that's actually like recognizing we get it wrong is like, yes, I am a healing machine. I can get it over. So we attack where we think we can make an effective change. It's the ego's response to that inner sense of what is the belief that does that. Your ego's belief is that the thing that needs to be changed is out there
and can be attacked.
And can be, it should,
and
right,
should be
right.
attacked.
And
and
the caveat we're seeing there is what you want for others is what you want for yourself. Because we're one, right? I can't want something for you and not want it for myself because we're one. That's not how the universe ever works. I want you to be happy. I have to want you to be happy if I'm serious about my own happiness. May all beings be happy? Right. You know why? Because I'm all beings.
That's good.
I'm all beings.
Truly. All right. Let's see if we got any comments going on. Nope. Okay, cool. All
no
right.
questions?
No
I'm glad this is very simple. No, we
No
attack,
comments.
why we attack and why we want to fix others, because fixing others is also an attack. So read this through.
Right. Oh, that was
this,
good. You just said
yeah.
that's really good. Fixing others is also
Because the request is to let others be as they are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let others be as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That can be a learning experience for me. You know,
that's for sure.
Can I take action while not trying to change somebody who somebody is? Can I take any action with a peaceful heart? Because that's that's our Krishna and Arjuna's conversation in the chariot right before the war.
That's right.
So read.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. That really is. All right. Okay.
So read this next bit. This is the next the sentence in the third paragraph I've got for you.
Okay.
You'll recognize this. This is the part where you were reading ahead.
Right. And I think this sentence is a little convoluted. So,
read however much of this you think makes it clear.
Okay. Oh, well, let's start at the beginning of the paragraph. It is not Christ you see by looking.
Is it not Christ you see by looking at us?
It says it is not.
Oh,
it is not.
There you go.
How do we read? I mean, we see things, sometimes that we want to see.
We're doing.
So anyway, it starts with this.
It is
not Christ you see by looking thus. It is it is the enemy confused with Christ you look upon and hate because there is no sin in him for you to see.
Whoops. And this is what I highlighted.
Nor do you hear his plaintive call unchanged in content in whatever form the call is made, that you unite with him and join with him in innocence.
What's the call?
Peace. The call is to join with him in innocence and peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is what Course Miracles, and we have heard a lot around these tables, in these rooms, they say, this is the call for love.
Yeah.
It's actually our call for love and their call for love. It's the call for love.
Yeah.
It's the request to join a conscious. Now think about the unpacking of this and the handle, I think, into this concept is understanding this is a request to join in a conscious purpose in the world, to own what is yours to do. Return unto God what is his, she says at the end of this paragraph. This is a request to join, make your will and attention available to a conscious purpose, to have your attention serve what is real. And what is real is our brother, right? What is real is love and this relationship we have. So the call for love, this call for conscious
purpose,
and you could even say conscious solidarity with what is.
Oh, okay. Solidarity with what is.
Solidarity forever.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah. So, all right, go.
All right.
We're going to lump in chapter 4 and chapter 5. We have about 5 or 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Okay, so paragraph 4 and 5. The Son of God asks only this of you, that you return to him what is his due, that you may share in it with him. Alone does neither have it. So must it remain useless to both. Together it will give to each an equal strength to save the other and save himself along with him. In everyone you see, but the reflection of what you choose to have him be to you.
Oh,
one of those sentences. But think not heaven is lost, nor can it be regained unless the way is shown to him through you, that you may find it.
Where?
Walking by his side.
Not in front of him? Not behind him?
By his freedom will you gain your own.
Oh!
To let his function be fulfilled is but the means to let yours be.
Oh!
And so you walk toward heaven or toward hell, but not alone.
Oh.
Remembering but this, that what he does, you do along with
God.
him. And as you see him, so do you define the function he will have for you until you see him differently and let him be what God appointed that he be to you,
Okay.
which is Savior,
Oh, yeah,
as
right.
we heard
Yeah.
earlier.
Okay. You had one job. Okay. Your one job, she says, is to save each other. What? No, none. Meet people where they are. Help people with where they say they need help. Help those that believe they are a body improve their material conditions. Save each other. It's our joy. It's what our purpose is. And the way we do that, the way we find our way, is by walking beside people who kind of are going in the same direction we are. How about that? Everyone you see is what you choose them to be until you see correctly, until your perspective is cleaned up. And we're always going to have some cloudy perspectives until there's only God's perspective working through us. We're still going to be doing. Everyone you see is what you choose them to be. It's not a problem not being conscious that we're inventing meaning and roles and stuff for people is the problem. What he does, you do along with him, right? What I call the smelt it, you dealt it. If he's this big old jerk and can't get anything right, and is in ugly, whatever, son of a. That's
so
what we
the
see.
Jerk? Yeah.
What you're doing is what we do is we tell on ourselves.
Right.
When we get fundamentally angry or create an enemy over a group of people or a particular type of person or whatever, we tell on ourselves. So the method that we can get to this discovery is seeing ourselves and our strengths and weaknesses in other people, in others, in the world, and to lift and realize that we are in each and every conversation, each and every relationship and encounter are either lifting up the one truth in which we are all well and blessed and the children of God, or we're putting it down. I'm creating a hierarchy and I'm better than you or worse than you or whatever it is. I'm creating this hierarchy. So seeing our happiness and our purpose linked to one another is where she's going. That means joining. That means we're one. The method here is seeing our happiness and our purpose linked with each other. I want you to be happy because it contributes to my happiness and well-being. And this creates this synergy and this momentum that she says the heaven cannot be not experienced. The way is shown through you doing your job, doing what is yours to do, not policing other people, not telling other people how they have to, behave or act or not act, which can be kind of difficult. So the way shown through you is to do your job and what is yours to do. So read this last bit and we're done.
Okay.
Love this lesson.
I do too. Against the hatred that the Son of God may cherish toward himself, is God believed to be without the power to save what he created from the pain of hell. Look once again upon your brother, not without the understanding that he is the way to heaven or to hell.
Yeah.
As you perceive him. That's amazing. But forget not this, the role you give to him is given you, and you will walk the way you pointed out to him because it is your judgment on yourself.
If you smelt it, you dealt it.
Oh my goodness.
The Spider-Man meme with, oh yeah, you. You ever see that?
Wow.
The world, so look, to conclude all of this, the world isn't broken. Belief we are inadequate in this body, live in this body that we don't even much like is the problem. We call it us, we don't even much like it. It doesn't have to be fixed. Suffering is not God's plan for anyone. Nobody has to suffer to awaken. Nobody has to suffer to have existence. Awareness doesn't require suffering. Suffering is not God's plan for anyone. You don't have to earn your lessons. Problem people are showing up for us because they are showing us very literally the unloved parts of ourselves. It just black and white, they are the unloved parts of ourselves. If we love them, do they change? And do they change? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. How we treat others reveals our belief about ourselves and our belief about what others are and the world is and the way things work. We're always telling on ourselves. We're always teaching, as I say. Our beliefs about the world and what is possible is how this concept works. Condemning others only really condemns ourselves and makes our own immediate existence more painful. And heaven is experienced by joining, because it means that we're all one. And I listen to the Holy Spirit because she tells me that I'm one, and I act like it. I'm Reverend Glen Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher, and this is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda, and you're listening to Church with a 2-Drink Minimum. Tell them what we're gonna do.
Okay, so I want to set this up a little bit for you. I'm gonna play you something I don't think I've ever played for you, but it's like a little mini movie. It's about 6 minutes long, so I want to get with it. But it describes where I was before I fully embraced myself. Hey, George, as who I know myself to be, Yolanda, trans femme genderqueer person, minister. And in this little mini movie, I filmed it first by playing the role of Roger, who that's my middle name, birth name. But this was the very last time we filmed this a couple of years ago, and this is the very last time I ever wore a men's suit. And I was wearing it for the purpose of this
you have to borrow it. Did you
video? I'm not sure where I got it, but I wanted to share this with you today because I feel so loved and accepted in this community for everything that I am. And I wanted to share with you this is fun and funny and just a little bit about my journey. So here it's called Transcendence.
everything I thought I knew disappeared. I'm non-binary, I'm feminine but hairy, both masculine and feminine, loving my padded underwear. It doesn't matter what I choose to wear. My identity's not a bodily affair. And I know that it's hard to believe that my spirit transcends these boundaries. So you rock me and I roll you. And what is a gal supposed to do when there's more than two sides to this story? What do? I change the world's view. Oh, I'm living in transcendent light. My whole world is set right here. 'Cause I'm not afraid of who I am. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I'm living in, I'm kissing and hugging in transcendent
Origin stories.
Origin stories. Just a cute
I
little
know.
thing I wanted to share.
Well,
with
we love each and every
you.
one of you.
Thank you so
Stick
much.
around for
Herein lies the peace of God.
more love and light all night.
All night long.
I
Thank
know.
you, everybody. We'll see you next time.